Paper balls over the head sounds like a game you play in an old folks' home to make them forget about their inevitable demise. However, no, it's a world-famous trick by Tony Slydini. I'm sure we've all performed it at some point, learning it from one way or another. However, I think very few of us have actually ever seen Slydini himself perform it. And here he is on a Dick Cavett show. I don't even know if that's the correct pronunciation, but he's doing it to just immaculate deception. And you can see it's not just paper balls over the head, but it's a, dare I say it, take a shot, masterclass in misdirection.
I don't have to ask you. I think you got a good sight.
Very good.
100%, right? But it's good if I test your eyes to see the same thing, right? You don't mind. Okay. Now, here I have a few paper napkins. I'm going to open up. They stay straight. So put them on the left. Put them on the left. Okay. Don't fold it, just a little, just the way they are.
Calm down.
Okay, right there. See? I think you got to blend it here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now,
The very first thing that I note here that's different than what I've seen typically done with paper balls over the head is the color of the napkins. In this case, pay attention that they're yellow. Yellow is something that naturally contrasts with a lot of things you might find on stage and is definitely going to contrast with a black suit or maybe a red backdrop. And most magicians I've seen perform do this trick do it with either toilet paper because of its hysterical connotation of poop or paper towels. Here, you have something that stands out to the audience, and he is essentially painting that object in red, even though it's technically yellow, but it still stands out more, so it's more impressive when something that stands out so much like a yellow napkin disappears right beneath his nose.
ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to do what you call a misdirection. You see the misdirection, I look like it. In other words, the magician, he can fool thousands of people, he can fool one person, the same thing. Now, you all see what I do. You see everything. He's the only one that cannot see. So please don't say anything. Don't point because you spoil everything. Let him find out himself. And you try to catch. You try to catch me, right? You try the best.
That's right.
Unless you know, right? Okay. Now, hopefully not. Come close. No, with the chair. Yourself, yeah.
Oh, stand up.
No, don't stand up. Just come close. Stupid. Now you see.
You might think that the routine is based on misdirection, but it is all about managing the eyeline of the participant, managing what their blind spot is. So in having them positioned in the way that you're going to see Slydini position the participant, leaning forward, he's less likely to catch when the actual paper balls go over his head. This also greatly removes your arch. So in this case, oftentimes you see magicians make this elaborate action where they throw the paper balls over the head and it becomes obvious as to what's going on. However, in positioning the participant this way, you actually have to move a lot less to remove the napkin or throw it over his head. You are then lessening the odds of them catching on before you want them to.
This piece of napkin you see, right? Now, the closer I come, the more I... But if I smash them into a little ball, now you see the ball here, right? I'm going to explain everything. There will be no excuse, right? Come close. I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to put it inside of the hand this way, and I'll close the hand. Squeeze. When I open the hand, you see the ball completely disappear. Come here, how close? Watch, really slow. Come here, watch. Now do really slow, okay? All right? Watch it. Really slow. See? And disappear. Nothing here. Nothing here. Is anything in your pocket?
Yeah.
No?
Right off the bat, you see the mastery of this effect and the mastery of understanding of the human eyeline. In this case, Slydini is very far away from the participant. Typically, when you see magicians perform this, they're all up in their shit and their arm is completely behind them before anything happens. Here, there is an absurd amount of distance between Slydini and the participant, and his hands are in his eyeline the entire time. So he manages to take advantage of the angle in which that ball disappears from his eyeline, and that's where he actually makes it disappear. After he shows the vanish, he also takes advantage to set up for a following vanish where it's actually going to disappear in the participant's pocket. In this case, you see that he's going to look inside of his pocket and he's going to move the handkerchief so that now it's better positioned.
Okay. Oh, you didn't see, right? You know why? I did too fast. This time I do slow, really slow. Look. I try to catch what I want. Now, I tell you why you didn't see. I explain to you, see? Before I put the ball this way, you couldn't see the ball, right?
Right.
Why?
You're hiding it.
You're clever. You're clever. I hide it with a hand, right? But this time I'm not going to put it this way. I'm going to put it this way. Come here, watch. Really slow. Long. Come here. Really slow. Take this up.
Audience management is also very key when it comes to a trick like this because the second time around, they're really going to be paying attention. Notice for this vanish, the participant is actually not leaned in as much as he was in the beginning. So Slydini positions his body now a little bit more erect so that he could actually make it disappear and takes advantage of the now shifted angles.
I give you one more chance now. You should see the third time. Most of the people see the second time, but this is the third time. It's not so good, you know. Okay. Now, pretty good size, right? Now this time, I do so slow you have no idea. Look, I go very slow when I put in. Back up a little. Back up. Wait. Really slow. Come close. Yeah. You see? And look, not easy. Yeah. You still didn't see. I'll show you how I do. You want to see? Look, that's it.
First time I saw this, I had no fucking idea where that paper went because I know it didn't go over his head and I wasn't really paying attention to his pocket. It may have been the bit rate of the video was also low, but I had no idea. And then only when they cut to that close-up shot where I see the yellow napkin in his freaking pocket that I lost my mind. And here you see Slydini slowly making his way to the participant's pocket where he's going to dump that piece of paper right here that he's getting him used to getting closer to him. And then he takes advantage of that on the offbeat to place it in his pocket. And now it's the most deceptive vanish, I think, of this entire sequence.
And then I did this way, this way. Did you see that? What went? I'll do it again. Come on. What? Look.
Now, admittedly, this sequence is more difficult to do in 2024 because we're not really wearing jackets anymore. But if you find an opportunity to do this, why not? My goodness, what a perfect way to do the paper balls over the head and change methods. Oftentimes it's just over the head, but here he takes advantage of the participants' wardrobe in order to make it vanish and really show his mastery over misdirection to the rest of the audience.
Come here, one more time. I'll do slow. What? This time you won't know. See? Disappear. Look, I'm going to make a bigger one. Believe me, if you don't see this one, it's something wrong. You mean to say you're not going to see this one? Doesn't fit anywhere, really. Right? No way I can push. No, please, right? Okay. Now, you got a chance now. This is the only chance you got. If you don't see now, you'll never see any. Right? Okay. Now, first, I'm going to pull the ball this way. Right? Now, you know the ball is there, right?
Right.
You're sure? Now, I'm going to close this way. Okay? Now, blow. Now you know he's dead, right? You with your bet.
Probably not, but
Probably not. It's not right. He doesn't say yes or no. Come in. Now you know why this body it don't disappear. Why it didn't disappear? Why it doesn't disappear? You know why? You want me to tell you why?
why?
Because it's too big when I tell you so. Come in, watch. Really slow. Blow. See? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Slydini. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you. Good night.
It's wonderful.
It really is unbelievable the difference in respect from someone like Dick Cavett and David Letterman, for example. When he has magicians on his show, he's just the worst kind of participant, doesn't care about them, really puts them in a really awkward position, and I just found that to be interesting at the end of the video. But here you see the logical progression of the paper balls over the head as he ends the routine with what would be an impossible vanish. The audience is there building anticipation, wondering how he's going to make this vanish in front of the participant, this massive yellow ball, and yet he does it doing the exact same technique as before. Just absolutely perfect. And again, very different to what magicians typically do this with, because their hand is completely over the guy's shoulder typically. Here, Slydini is a good distance away. I keep repeating that because it's just a foreign concept to me, seeing the paper balls over the head 100 times from different magicians, and it's just so different. Gregory Wilson is one that does this, I think, immaculately. He makes bottles vanish, he makes large objects vanish in front of the participant, all taking advantage of their eyeline. And maybe you should take advantage of the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be, all for the low, low price of a single White Claw a month, which is $5. $5, and I'm always uploading new content. So it's not just there. It's not just a stagnant amount of content. It's always being refreshed and renewed. Check it out. The lessons to be learned here, I believe, are using a napkin that stands out. Don't just go for the standard magician trope of toilet paper. My goodness, I've seen that done 1,000 times. And really take advantage of the participant's eyeline. Take advantage of their angles. In this case, you can make it much more deceptive by repositioning them as opposed to you, and taking advantage of their leaned in posture. Just like how you should lean in and press the subscribe button if you haven't already, or maybe hit that like button and trick YouTube into thinking that this channel is actually way better than it actually is. Fuck off.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.